Good morning, everybody. Orin J here with another War of the Visions video, and today we're going to do a little preview for the upcoming guild raid. Now, if you're a newer player and this is one of your first experiences with guild raids, you might not have teams that can compete at that highest level, but there are still a lot of things you can do that will help your scores and help your guild, achieve all the rewards you want to achieve. Especially for newer players, the rewards from guild raids can be quite useful. It's my favorite piece of PvE content in this game. So I'm going to give you some tips about all these different bosses, ways you can improve your score. And I'm going to show you some units to give you some ideas of what you're looking for in your roster when you're putting your team together. So we have Iron Giant, Tetrasylphid, Merilith, Omega, and Kraken coming for this round of Guild Wars. Now, first thing you want to think about when building a Guild Wars team is what units do I have that can do things that can either help my team get more turns or help the boss take less turns by slowing the boss down, lowering their CT, debuffing their agility, debuffing their resistances will also help your team do a lot more damage. You're looking to do a bunch of chaining, hitting elemental weaknesses, attack type weaknesses, single target weakness, or AoE weakness, which is also a thing in the game now. Let me give you some examples. So a guy like Titus right here, right? If you go to Titus's kit, he has a move, Quick Hit. Quick Hit decreases the CT of the target. If you look right here, there's a couple bosses this week, Merilith, Omega, and Kraken, that can have their CT knocked down. That makes Titus's move Quick Hit a potential good option for a team looking to knock down CT. He's not the only one who can do that, but that's one of his specialties. Titus also has a multi-hit move. He has a 4-hit limit break. So Titus is a good option for water slashing teams who are looking to knock CT down and do a big hit. A 4-hitter to finish can be really, really good. Titus also has a defense debuff with his Jack Shot. Debuffing the enemy's defense is another way of helping your team do more damage. Chunok, another great PvE chaining unit. Chunok has moves like this one right, where is it? He's got a 2-hit move that decreases defense. So yes, Titus has a 30 defense debuff. Chunok's also builds chaining. So Chunok's defense debuff, better than Titus's. Chunok also has a limit break down here at the bottom that decreases single target resist. So any move that anybody on your team is hitting the boss with, that's single target. Now, single target resist can go into the negative. All these resist. Like you can knock, even if a unit is already weak to, let's say, slash, you can knock their slash resistance down more. So 38 single target resist debuff, that's really good. That's a great thing to have on your team as well. So Chunok has those things going for him. Somebody like Farm. Farm has a multi-hit move. It's a 3-hitter that decreases defense and spirit. So that's really nice. What else we got? I had another option on here. Ramada. Christmas Ramada right here. She's got a limit break that decreases slash resistance 38%. Boom, another great option. And so I'm just throwing options out there. This is just the kind of stuff you're looking for. Raychez has a move. It's a multi-hit move that decreases water resist. Even a unit like a fire unit that's already weak to water, you can knock their water resist down even more with a move like Sustaining Slash from Raychez. So if you were building a water team, these might be units that you're looking to use. And we do have a fire boss this week, right? Merilith, who can be CT downed, who can have her agility debuff. So look for those things in your units kits when you're building up a squad. Now let's talk about each of these buffs. Let's talk about each of these bosses a little bit more specifically. Here's Iron Giant. So Iron Giant is a light element unit. So you should already be looking towards this 30% dark weakness right there. Alternatively, or also, you could look to do some strike chaining on him, some magic chaining on him, or some missile chaining on him. There are very, very good missile chaining PvE teams. This guy's actually weak to quite a bit, and Dark has access to a lot of stuff. So even if you don't have a Dark team, you could build a strike, missile, or magic chaining team and build some really nice combos against him. One thing I want to say is magic itself does not chain. So if you are ever building magic attacking units into your chaining teams, they need to be chaining on element only because magic itself doesn't chain. I wish it did. I wish it did. For some reason it doesn't, but this guy weak to dark, and weak to those things. And you can see his debuffing. Well, let's go look at this. Iron Giant only can be slowed. And so what does that look like on this page? It looks like this. He's very weak to slow and nothing else is going to hit on him. He's almost 1000% resistant to every other thing. Okay, Tetrasylphid. Now here's Tetrasylphid's weaknesses. She's going to obviously be weak to ice, being a wind element unit. She is also weak to slashing, which opens the door to the world. Anything that is weak to slashing, slashing is the easiest type of chaining to build in the game. She's weak to strike and weak to magic. So that's Tetrasylphid's deal. If we check the graph right here, Tetrasylphid also can be slowed and nothing else. She's actually the last of the bosses that can be slowed this week. All of the rest of them, you will have to agility debuff them and knock their CT down, to keep your team having more turns than them, or haste your whole team, or do both options, quicken, things like that. Okay, Merilith. Merilith's going to be a fire element boss, so she will be weak to water. Notice she's only 20% weak to water, so adding some water element debuff will really help your team out here. She is also weak to slashing and magic. So that water slashing team I was showing off a second ago, you could do a lot of damage to a Merilith boss by getting your water chaining team together, debuffing that water resist, further debuffing that slash resist, drop a single target resist in there, and go to town chaining on Merilith. Once again, though, you will need to add an agility debuff in there and have somebody who can knock her CT down if you're going for like really, really high scores. Okay, Omega is next. Now I got to scroll way down the page here for Omega. Omega is a dark unit, but he's only 10% weak to light. Now that 10% weakness is still 50% better than every other element. So I do think using light will give you a big head start. He is weak to slash, which is wonderful. He's weak to strike and weak to magic. There's kind of a theme here with strike and magic and slash the last few. Again, you will want to agility debuff this guy and knock his CT down if you can. And then Kraken is going to be last. Kraken, water element unit. Look how weak this man is to lightning. He is minus 60% to lightning. That is 110% better than every other element. Oh my gosh, get a lightning element debuff on there and knock this thing to like 100%. I don't know, knock this to a huge number, however high you can get it. He's also very weak to strike, minus 45 to strike. Slash chaining on him, going to be a little bit harder, but even if you're using a lightning slashing team, you're getting such a bonus right there from this. However, lightning does have units who can strike and multi-hit strike, so that's an option. Pierce he's weak to, and magic he's weak to as well, and that's the last of the bosses. So I hope this is useful, especially for people who maybe feel like getting into guild raids a little bit more this week than they ever have before. That's how it works. You build a team, that team tries to build long element and attack type chains on a boss that is either weak to what they're doing or is made weak to what they're doing through the skills on your units. If you want to watch me testing out one of my teams live, I will probably be doing that this Wednesday on stream. So stop by if you want a little bit more, just a little bit more firsthand look at what it's all about. That first guild raid day is always a day where you can just test your teams. You don't get any scores to keep that day, but our guild's going for rank 1. So I can't give away like too many of our secret strats or anything, but I will build one team live on stream just to give me a bit of a head start. So that night before I go to bed, I don't have to like crash build all 3 of them. Anyway, thank y'all for watching. Have a great day and I'll catch you next time. Peace.